Phosphorus is a crucial component of biological molecules, including the energy transfer molecules ATP and NADP, nucleic acids, and the phospholipids of cell membranes. It is a major component of the teeth and bones of vertebrates. The reservoir of phosphorus for most ecosystems is crystalline rock, where it is found as phosphate. Since phosphorus does not enter the atmosphere, the phosphorus cycle is referred to as a sedimentary cycle. As phosphate-rich rocks are exposed and eroded, phosphate ions are dissolved in rainwater. Dissolved phosphate is readily absorbed through the roots of plants and by other autotrophs such as photosynthetic protists and cyanobacteria. From these producers, phosphorus is passed through a food web. At each level, organisms excrete excess phosphate. Ultimately, decomposers return the phosphorus remaining in dead bodies back to the soil and water in the form of phosphate. Here, it may be reabsorbed by autotrophs, or it may become bound to sediment and eventually reincorporated into rock. Some of the phosphate dissolved in fresh water is carried to the oceans. Although much of this phosphate ends up in marine sediments, some is absorbed by marine producers and eventually incorporated into the bodies of invertebrates and fish. Some of these, in turn, are consumed by seabirds, who excrete large quantities of phosphorus back onto the land. Guano deposited by seabirds along the western coast of South America, along with phosphate-rich rock, are among the major sources of the phosphates incorporated into agricultural fertilizers. In some ecosystems, especially freshwater ones like lakes and rivers, overall productivity is limited by the availability of phosphates. Runoff from agricultural fields and stockyards, municipal sewage discharges, and other sources can create imbalances in these aquatic ecosystems by carrying large quantities of phosphates into them. The imbalance caused by the increased phosphate levels often leads to what ecologists refer to as accelerated eutrophication. Huge blooms of algae and other photosynthetic organisms form, increasing the demand for dissolved oxygen in the body of water. Eventually, anaerobic conditions develop that result in the massive die-off of animal life. The smell of decay rises from these bodies of water as anaerobic bacteria release methane and other gases as they decompose the dead organisms that litter the body of water. As a result of the problems caused by accelerated eutrophication, many states have banned phosphate detergents and taken other measures to ensure excessive levels of phosphates don't enter aquatic ecosystems.